Welcome to the CueSports International Expo, being hosted at the Rio All Suites Hotel and Casino. This is the $100,000 added Predator World 10-Ball Championship, presented by CueSports International and sponsored by Predator, the only WPA-sanctioned World Championship in America. 64-player field is based on invites and WPA rankings. This will be a race to 8 in the first stage and a race to 10 in the final 16-second stage. This is George Teachea and Jeremy Jones bringing you live action with Omar ALSHAHEEN and David ALCAIDE.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a dead heat here. You may see something on paper that tells you otherwise, but both these guys, great players. David with a little more experience, but Omar the last 5 years really, kind of hit the ground running here in the pro scene. And he just finished runner-up in our first event, so only one guy kind of riding higher than him so far this week, and that would be Wu.
He just was defeated in his last match.
That's right.
By Oscar Dominguez.
David, a Predator player, Omar, a Mucci player. And now he's got a tough shot on the one, but here's a guy that takes on a lot of tough shots.
He does, and he's been making most of them. This is alternate break. Race to 8. No early 10 balls, no 10 ball on the break. 30-second time clock with a 30-second extension.
The shot to me looks like it lines up for a 2-8 combo if you can dairy it. I wouldn't go all the way up and down for the 2 in the corner, I don't think.
He has.
And the speed's going to be down table a bit, but I'll tell you, we talked about it in the Vegas Diamond, or sometime discussed it, that Omar, sometimes you can tell he's not comfortable, but he sure has looked comfortable this week.
You know, he looked all week long. He looked real comfortable, and I think I saw him in Tucson Open. He was in the Arizona Open.
Oh yeah.
Also, he did well there. In fact, he was 5th through 8th.
Well,
and,
we talked
no,
about
not that much.
He's as sure as a fighter on the one-loss side. Been a lot of tournaments where Omar lost early or somewhat early. Just keeps fighting through that one-loss side. Of course, this is a winner's side match.
Omar,
he's from Kuwait, now residing in Texas, Wichita Falls, Texas. Seems like everybody's going to Texas.
This is the second round match on the winner's side, and Omar defeated Roland Garcia 8-5. ALCAIDE defeated Darren Appleton 8-3. So these guys have a match under their belt, and good ones against quality opponents. I don't think there's a bad match in this whole tournament.
No, now ALCAIDE, a little similar to Ruiz, definitely has a few more titles than Ruiz, but he's won a World Pool Masters with that bank on the 9 over Alex Kazakis right before pandemic hit. That was probably his biggest win. Of course, that World Pool Masters is a tough field, but it's a small field. So, of course, it's a great win, but these guys want to win on a bigger stage, I think.
Well, ALCAIDE has the titles. He's 42 years old to this 28-year-old gentleman from Kuwait.
Yeah, both these guys, ALCAIDE, who a little older, of course, but stays in great shape, always improving. So he still has plenty of a prime left in his career.
I remember seeing him here in Las Vegas at the BCA World Championships as part of the Sports International Expo.
Ooh.
When he was probably in his teens still. He was coming over.
Yeah,
or early 20s.
Yeah, the BCA World Championships had a very international flavor. And will return, I'm sure, as soon as things around the world get a little more straight.
Yeah, Spain would send some tough teams out here.
Absolutely. Well, 8-ball. It's a Latin game, it seems like, almost. So I learned a lot in the Houston area playing the Latin players, 8-ball and different games. John Lehman now, first look, rack the balls.
On that new Predator equipment, the triangle rack, along with the cloth, the arena lights. They also make chalk and the ridges. But it is a diamond table since this is part of Diamond Products.
Now we're going to get our first look at Arcadia after a break and run. And how many opening break and runs do we have?
Almost
yesterday?
every one.
Yeah.
Almost every one, if I remember correctly.
I thought the table has improved on the break, it seems like. Our match table here. It's pretty square. Kiss on the cue ball, several kisses on the cue ball, still kissing the cue ball. The 10's going to hang. Different rules than the diamond, though. No early winners, even though the 10's hanging. The guys can shoot a combination. Of course, they got to call it, and then the 10 will spot, and they'll continue to run. Can't take his eye off of this one ball, though. This is tricky because it's a little. You know, could use a little thicker or thinner. It's a little in between to go back and forth, but he's got to put a little into the cue ball here. Nice stroke there.
They make those look so pretty.
Well, ALCAIDE, I think. Well, I don't think, and definitely call him a grinder. A guy that's grinding his way to the level he's at now. Like you said. Used to come over here as one of the amateurs from Spain. Tricky little shot here. He wouldn't necessarily want to play the 4-10 with the 5 being there, but if he has to, that's okay. I liked him trying to move the cue ball here. He got a little fortunate, but I liked him trying to go for the 4 on the side. Shooting that 4-10, he, you know, the 4 could get in a problematic area with the 5.
This is nice here. This is ideal. Our 9 o'clock match between Oscar Dominguez and Kunlin Wu ran over a little bit, so we apologize for the little delay.
Yeah, Oscar with a big win.
There we go.
Okay. He guarded for that.
Yes, he did.
And it's probably good thing it fell, because once it gets that deep and he stretched from the middle of the table, that could have been a tricky ball to try and come out of the pocket with.
Well, look what happened when they spotted it. He's got a little tricky now. I guess he just kind of goes up to the head rail and comes back a little for the 7.
Absolutely. And here I would play for the side. I
You
think.
play for the side?
I think so. There's a big area of the right side of the table. The 8's very near. Just stay off the rail with the cue ball.
Oh, he doesn't have to elevate. He was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with so much, you know, like I said, stay off the rail with the cue ball. Your touch should be good enough to get to the side there. There's still some 9 o'clock matches going on.
No.
The outer tables. Looking to start this match with 2 break and runs. And ask for much more than that as a spectator.
And that's the ideal way to play alternate break.
Straight here. I have to pull the cue ball off the rail. Now, normally when you pull it up the rail like this, it comes off the rail a little bit. We've seen, though, on the slick table, it can stay on that rail. So
I would be trying to get it just past the solid, get that ideal.
yeah, you cheated the pocket just a little bit, using the side rail to pocket the 9. Now, just perfect on the 10.
by both players and Omar ALSHAHEEN to open the third game, tied at 1.
You know, both bat 1,000 so far.
Breaking through the middle, close to the middle there. Open bridge.
Yeah, seen that before from Omar. Like we saw from Conrad yesterday, when these guys are playing more of a pop is all, you know, they gotta feel like accuracy. Maybe the straight shooting on the 1 right there, maybe that's why we see the open bridge. You see though, it doesn't quite get the power into the rack like the closed bridge does.
No, I just,
hard for me to break with the open bridge.
that's where I was going. I just didn't want to say me, but
looks like he's straight here. He can't afford to go forward and go to the rail and buy the 10 down for the 3 in the side. That would be ideal. Looks like he's going to have to draw the cue ball into congestion there, George. Touchy shot.
might be able to get it over to the left a little bit. He's got just a smidgen of an angle there. Ooh, he created an angle and missed the ball.
Yeah, a little bit of body movement there.
If this goes, it counts.
Yeah,
It's
would have
good.
counted.
Yeah.
It's just called pocket. That's the only element of luck really there is. I mean, as far as making balls, there's plenty of luck otherwise, but
Let's see these things here. Exactly. A little harder, Omar.
right. Now David in a perfect spot to come around for the 3 in the side, assuming that's what he'll do. 3 rail. Got to go a little bit, and not just to make it, just wondering where the cue ball's going off the make. That's the main thing. He can make the 3, no problem.
Can he draw it past the 10? Or try to
Way
go
thin.
between?
I might go into the 6, I think.
Yeah.
Into the good side of the 6, and then let the cue ball maybe come off that.
Because it will come to the
Towards the
underside,
4.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's
It's
lined up
like a
nice.
center left English kind of with a little speed. I think draw you may go right in between them.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a little higher center left. Like I said, a little higher on there. No, he's going underneath. He's digging at the ball a little bit.
yeah. Well, you can play the not left, and play more draw to get into the 6. That way you're hitting the 3 a little thinner. But the thing is, you may really stall the cue ball that way. That would be my concern.
He just decided to play safe.
Yeah, he doesn't
I'm not
want
going to mess with it. Smart shot, I think, because that way he was gambling on where he's going to go, and he could get stuck real easy.
Yeah, but these guys know it took everything for him to play safe on that. Pulled on the reins 3 or 4 times because they know one little kick shot here, and they, could
Yeah, he can end up
become
behind
an underdog.
here.
Yeah. He's got to kick 1 rail at this. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
If he hits the underside of it, he could get behind the 9, behind the 5.
To make it, he's going to call it cross side, I would think.
It's the top side of it. He could go in the side pocket.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to kick too soft here. Some guys would. I wouldn't with all that congestion. I would try to create some separation here. Myself, if you kick soft, yeah, I like there. If you kick soft, you're gonna get hemmed up again. That's just all there is to it. And he hit the good side of it.
Yes, he did. He almost made the ball.
I'm sure he called it cross side, I would think.
Arcadia to take care of this 3 ball.
And I think he just realized he doesn't have an extension anymore, so he's gonna have to get on with it. Still plenty of time though, 15 seconds.
Those are always pretty when they split the pocket.
Now, if he's got just a portion of the pocket here on the 5, that's why he looked for the 6, because you don't want to have much of a cut on a ball whenever you go into a small pocket. And that may be the case here to get the position from the 5 to the 6. That looks perfect. He's going to have to maybe play short side or draw straight back for that little cut on the 6.
Yeah, because actually I like him coming back. Nine will be the only one there when he shoots that. No, he's going to come forward.
Yeah, and I think that was okay.
Yeah.
And that just tells us how tight that 5 ball probably was, you know what I'm saying? So,
because I was thinking he could come back for it and maybe send the cue ball off the 10, but he could get behind the 8 doing that. So.
yeah, or have to settle for a much longer shot on the 7, which shouldn't be a problem for these. Ooh, he got past it.
It looked like he was going to elevate himself there.
Yeah, straight on the 8 is fine. Angle on the 8 is fine. If he gets straight, he plays the 9 in the opposite side pocket. If he gets a little angle, he probably pulls the cue ball out for the 9 in the same pocket. He shoots the 8. So
This looks like it's going to be these 3 balls. So I'll kind of fill you in on what's going on around the other 7 tables with Johan Chua and Viktor Zielinski, 4-5. Chua is trailing. Pagulayan and Alshamari. Alex leads 6-3. Thorsten trails Mika Imanin 2-0. Kazakis and Orpolo are tied. Kucher and Yoshioka. Yoshioka leads 2-1. And Appleton over Roland Garcia 5-0.
now 2-1 for Katie. Will be breaking as well in game number 4. So he's played it pretty perfect so far. We've had one miss, one more. Wasn't easy on that one ball. He was a little jacked up. Had to draw the cue ball. One he's supposed to make for sure, but wasn't a hanger.
ALCAIDE will be breaking the balls at 2-1. Alternate break, so it goes to him. Omar could find himself in a 2-game deficit by the time he comes to the table. If he starts out, if he does this right the way he started out.
ALCAIDE, even though he's a guy that showed a little more emotion back in the day, but he can show some emotion. He can tell what's going on in his mind a bit, but he's a worker. That's one of his biggest assets. He's got plenty of talent, of course, but he's a guy that really works through the rack, puts in a lot of effort every shot.
Look at that 2-ball in that replay, just still spinning, right there, spinning in front of the pocket. From the side.
He's taking on the jump, and that just must be, he really feels good about it, because there are options to roll out. Wow, he hit it.
That's how good he felt about it. Yeah.
Look how deep that 2-ball is. Which diamonds, when they first came out, 3-piece pro cut. That's what they were famous for. How
Deep pockets.
Yeah, deep and tough the side pockets are. Of course, the corners are, but the sides are really tough.
Omar looking good here on this rack. Balls are nice and spread. Control.
Kind of got up off that one like he wasn't 100% when he let the cue ball go a little bit. Took a very hard and long look at the 3-ball going to the hole. A great spot now, though. Omar plays with extension on his cue, so no problem reaching this.
Now, do you use an extension, Jeremy?
No. The shaft I play with is an inch longer, but I've been doing that for 20 years, I guess. So standard length butt.
Well, you're a tall guy.
And a 30-inch shaft, yeah. Really, all the equipment. I messed around with the extensions, and I do like them for certain shots. Not something I could play with all the time. Years ago, cues were being made longer before the extension kind of craze came through. And I never felt like the longer cues were as solid for some reason. Like they had a little more wobble in them, play kind of, you might call it. Speed on this one, man. So that's twice coming that direction. The first game on the 7-ball, was it? Got a little more out of the cue ball.
It almost kind of looks like the center of the table is a little slippery.
Well, it's very slippery. This new felt on the bed. But these days, I think they really have the equipment down cold, all the companies.
Just to tie it up.
2-2.
Hard to break. Tied at 2.
Yeah, we had 2 breaking runs to start by the players. Then they each won a game on their opponent's break. So on serve. Going back to the closed bridge, more speed. Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's just, and that's a, you know, for me, it's a little mental thing. I hate to go down with that open hand bridge, lighter break like that, but especially if you have this break in your arsenal. Even though we've seen some guys, Conrad had a great, for the most part, a lot of great breaks with the open hand bridge, playing a little pop break.
He also moved more towards the center on his break and then closed it up and smacked him real good. I think 10.
Well, it's been a lot of draw strokes on the 1 so far for Omar. Always landing very heavy on the 1 and having to move the cue ball down table. So
he's got 60 seconds after the break.
They're playing all ball foul, so very aware of this 3-ball he's over. Stay straight, gets a little angle. Should be good enough to just stun straight down the table, I think anyways.
Just get up to about where the 5 is.
Yeah, that's right. Got a little more draw on it, so he's going to want it to keep going to kind of lessen this cut on the 4. Should be okay.
Well, now he's grateful for that extension. It's on his cue at all times.
And he's grateful that rolled out an extra foot or so. If it lands a foot or foot and a half shorter of that on that line right there, that 4 becomes really tough. It's not easy anyways, but got to command the speed here. He's going into some balls. It's going to keep rolling. Should be okay. And he had to take a little chance there. That's just how it is.
Well, the 5's over the pocket. And now, for instance, here he just landed where he can just play it straight down the corner. Did he come off enough? Yes, he did.
Just a little draw stroke here. A little past where he's at now.
Well, there's not much interaction here. They're just getting out. Not going back and forth, not too many innings per game.
The funny thing to me is I know you're not always going to get the exact same rack. We know that with the rules. Yeah. But if you're getting ready to play on this table, you've had to watch some. You got to like the firm break from the middle, right? I mean, it looks like it's working pretty well.
What he just did right there would be, to me, from what I've seen, is the ideal break. Way to break on this table.
Yeah. And the thing about that is, in my opinion, is when you don't get exactly that, the rack you want, maybe, or whatever, the firmer break gives you more chances. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not make the ones that you're used to making on the break, but when you get them moving, get some kisses, got a lot more things that may happen.
Well, one thing about this is I noticed they cleaned the balls just before this match. There's a brand new clean balls on there, so that usually leads to them breaking open a little better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, the table is very well taken care of. Nobody practices on this table, and so when you see most of it, folks, when you're watching.
It's just for match play.
Yeah,
that's all.
Sitting down.
So
Regrouping.
Yeah, 3 lead changes in this match so far through 5 games. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Omar grabbing the lead, then David winning 2 in a row. Omar winning 2 in a row.
David moved in quick too.
He didn't back off in his first. I'm sure he'll stick to it.
There's the 4 railers. The 4 railers were both blocked by mid-table traffic.
Yeah, he took a little off of that one. He hit him square. Don't get me wrong. Man, what an ugly free ball at the top of your screen here. The point. 4's on the opposite side too.
Can he come right at it right now?
I think he goes into the 6 if he does that, George.
Yeah, I see it's close.
It's close.
It's
No,
close.
That makes me think maybe. Makes me think possibility. That's what he's doing. He's trying to get a friendly bump.
And it might block him. No, he worked out that well.
Well.
It didn't help it much. Moved her from one bad spot to another, but he can get above it.
I don't know. The 8's a big ball.
Yes, it is.
You may have to try and go between the 7, 8 off a couple rails between the 9, 10. If he pulls this low of the 10.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, underneath the 10.
Yeah, with a lot of left spin, it's a possibility, but he's also flirting with getting trapped. Could catch the 10, could scratch.
Yeah.
Could go short of the 5, into the 5. This is tough.
Let's see what he decided on.
I think he's got to try it no matter what, though. That's the only thing, right? That's what I saw going into the 5, makes the 3, and gets tortured behind the 5, getting at the 4. Look at this. He's looking at a jump shot from, what is that, an inch and a half?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, he's got the kick with a little swerve, I guess. Call.
He made such a nice shot to end up with that. That was unfortunate. But when you're bumping balls, nothing's ever perfect. Wow, that nice. But it's going to sit up for David.
Yeah, he hit it way light, though. I think he wanted to hit it a little firmer and carry the cue ball to that bottom rail. Maybe the 4 comes up or something like that. David's got to love this after a dry break and a bit of misfortune, excuse me, for Omar.
Well, it works out for him. He can tie the score up. And this rack lays very nice. Once he's on the 6, it comes towards the 7. If he's on there well, you really have to make an error and not close it out.
Here in the end on that match. He's got Chua down 5-4. It's a winner side match.
Lion over ALSHAHEEN 6-4.
Is it only 6?
I don't think we've got an update.
Yeah, I think that
It's
maybe
gonna
7
work.
actually. I saw Alex just make a 10 ball. Let's go. Back to the main table here. Just another Spaniard. We finished last night with a Spaniard. His buddy. Seems like best friends. Took a loss at
Sanchez,
Connery.
yeah. And he was leading in that match.
Well, it was just a
got
great
tight.
match.
Yeah, it was.
I think it ended hill. If I remember correctly.
They're looking good to tie this up. In fact, in most pool halls, they would have said you're good.
That's right.
Tied at 3, the finalists from the Diamond Las Vegas Open to break the balls take the lead.
I don't think we're going to see the open hand pop break from Omar anymore.
Not with the success he had last rack.
Well, not only that, he's got this in his bag. I mean, that's what he's been working on. You know, that's what these guys on this 10-ball break right here so much. And it was very successful in the first game. He's got to talk to somebody about these shots after the break. Though. This one's tough.
Yeah, This one's right up against it. Probably just go off the ball and find a location behind another to hide the one.
Cut this in. Way wrong. Put John Lehman on top of this.
I'd be going the other way.
I didn't understand that. You got to evaluate there, right? I mean, you got to say, how often do I make this shot?
Yeah, I thought he'd go the 2 rails off the ball and come down behind the 610 or find a location back there.
Yeah,
for
driving the 1 to the rail and on top of the 8, something like that. So.
But he's at the table, he sees the angles better, so he felt he could, I guess, pocket the ball.
You shouldn't do a whole lot with the cue ball here. Maybe lays just a hair underneath it near the side rail. That way he can come easily towards the him above it. I'm gonna say so he can come easily towards the 3. Now with some high ball though, I think he's right.
Yeah. This looks pretty good.
He could stun across with a 3 in the corner also if he doesn't want to flirt. 3 in the side. I think it's okay though. Wants a little cut on the 3 to get on the 4 anyways. He ran a long ways.
And he's going to have a longer ways to run to get down for the 4 ball.
Yeah, he's pretty fortunate that center of the table is pretty open. So manufacturer coming either 2 rails with inside English or just 1 rail down between the 6, 7. That's where these guys will really make the decision because they're at the table. Don't see anything wrong unless he lets up here. Some problems, really.
Just cleaned up for him. Looks good now.
You should just stop right there. Maybe pinch it back an inch just to make sure cueing is easy. Then he can come out 2 rails out of this lower right corner to get on the 8 off the 7. I think that's his plan anyways. If he stopped right there, he could go 1 rail. I'd pinch it back an inch or 2 myself. Like that.
And bring him a little tight here. Sure,
yes. Yeah. I mean, you could actually come either way. The angle, he can go in between the 9, 10, 2 rails. He can come tight 2 rails. Most of the guys like the feeling of coming tight through, really wrapping the corner here.
And when you're at the corner like that, it's kind of tough to get into the side pocket. You got to come really, really close to that corner.
Yeah, pretty much impossible on the new felt in the slick conditions like this. Outer tables, maybe, once they break in a little bit more. For the most part, that's more of a scratch that happens at the pool room with a little more broken felt.
And for a lead. The lead and the break.
That's right. Looks like Alex Bagline has advanced.
Yeah, there's been no change on the score, on the underlying score. I can bring you some scores.
Well, we can for sure out in the ocean. Beat it E87 high. Coming up 4-1 on Holman. On 5-3 on Roland Garcia. Yoshioka 5-2 over Tucci. Pulo 5-4 over Kazakis. See 3-3 or 4-3 rather here on the main table. sure now. Charles 6'4" was Zelensky. We have some 11 o'clock matches that haven't quite got off yet. As soon as some of these 9 o'clocks wrap up.
And ALCAIDE to break. The Spaniard.
Yeah, both guys have broke really well. He had a dry break in his last. By the side, it looks like tracking the 1 towards the corner. What's the 3 gonna say? It's okay. 2's coming down near. Man, what a sweet one here to try and get a 2-game lead.
Well, if you can't get to the ball, you can get to the rail.
Wow, shake of the head. I thought for sure he could get to the 1. Still gonna shoot at it.
These rail first shots are something you want to work on. An amateur.
Yeah,
Pros know them well.
A little bit of measurement, but mainly, a lot of feel. This one's pretty much a hanger, I think. The only way you could really miss this one is if you let up on it. The pocket's pretty big. Shook his head after the break, but I think he would like this one to start every rack from now on. Too near.
Did a good job of holding the 3 ball for the side. Now it's just a matter of pocketing this 2 ball and clearing the 4.
Yeah, he's kind of, looks like he's kind of over worrying about this 4 ball a little bit here.
Just to get a,
He's plenty thin on the 2 to be able to get by the 4, it looks like to me.
Well, this
extension, huh?
This is the key to the rack.
Yeah. Looking at spinning that up. I think if there is a risk, like he's going right at the 4, I sure like taking that risk more than going above the 3 for the corner on the 3. Myself, anyways. I just put a little right English here and just come across.
Right for the middle of the table. Sure, I agree with you 100%. Did a good job of it. But
got there.
a little bump. But we can't question these guys with the angles they see down there.
Absolutely. They're at the tables. Not much. Hard to question what they're doing. The best players in the world.
64 of them. I think we had like 20 Fargo rate of over 800. 41 in the top 100. These 2 gentlemen, David is right at 800. Omar is a 782 Fargo.
Get a lot of the pocket to the right, and the cue ball will tell you how poorly that ball was hit to the pocket. He's lost a cue ball some foot or so. Now speed control coming for the 7. Very important.
Staying underneath the side pocket.
Yeah, the key to this is go ahead and bounce off the 2nd rail. It just helps you, a nice bounce too. That just helps you pocket the 6 a little more often. Don't baby it coming across so much. See how much he can handle coming off that 2nd rail there? Just makes you commit to the ball a little better.
Yeah, that rail seemed to absorb some of the energy instead of just really being bouncy.
Ideal here. A stop shot on the 9, or somewhat of a stop shot. Omar will have to get it started here. Rack number 9 after it's out here.
Ideally, he can start the rack he's about to break, like he did the match. ALSHAHEEN.
You can't say it's totally now or never, but it's getting to that point. 5-3, racing 8. It doesn't look like he's going to make too many big mistakes, if any at all.
There's the 7 that gives him another shot.
He's got to cut at the 1. A couple of clusters, the 4-6 you can see on the upper right side rail, the 5-2, the 9-10. 3 clusters actually. Pretty ugly. Trying to run out, but you never know. Got to float this in with a little left. I think if he tries to put a lot of speed, he could have something bad happen here. He's got to kind of come towards the 2 here.
Now he plays for a safety. For might he bank the ball? Well, there's Comino, who's Spanish, and then Francisco Reis, both of them watching their fellow countrymen play in this match. Jonas and Francisco watching.
I like edging the 2 here, coming on this side of the 10 a little bit. I think if you try to get a lot of movement involved, you call the side.
Call the side along with his extension.
Is he gripping at this? Wow.
Played it.
Yeah, he did it great. He needs to get nice and heavy on this 3. That way he can avoid the 9-10 and all that. He's going to get back for maybe a bank on the 4 or a 3-rail safety on the 4. Knocking the 4 around and putting him behind the 6 with the cue ball. Trying to break it out.
Oh, hello.
Well, I'll tell you, before the match, me and George were talking here, and I told him that Omar's just having a great time. He's really enjoying here, and I can tell he's enjoying it. Going for that breakout right there, the bank on the 2.
He's feeling his oats. He said, yeah, we were talking about that. And, Jeremy had a talk with him earlier.
Omar guy, ever since I met him, really liked him, and I'm sure that's pretty much everyone.
Well, years ago, I think it's been maybe 2 or 3 years. When the West Coast Swing was out here in this part of the country. He was down in Phoenix after doing a little bit of a tour through California. And met him down there. He had a good tournament down there. He had a good time down there. Made a lot of friends down there.
Well, I think the first time I saw him was at the Derby 5-6 years ago. He went there and played everybody, everything. Never played banks before. Played all the top players some banks. He played one pocket. He played it all. Really got his feet wet on that first trip to America. Looks like to me he can get at the 5, maybe get at the 6 after.
Yeah, he's got the good angle. He's got the good angle.
Oh no. That was really gambling, and it turned out not so well. If he can't get between the 9-10 here and go up table a few rails, I'm not sure he's going to have any kick shot at all. Can you get up there to get maybe 3 rails behind the 6, maybe 2 rails on top of the 6, something like that?
I can't tell. He's got to get to what the lower part of the side pocket to hit that rail.
Yeah,
it looks
well,
like
he may be able to elevate, you know, and bend it.
He's going out for it. He's got it.
He's going at 2 rails we were talking about. Ooh. So 6 doesn't look playable, even though Omar shot at everything this rack. I don't think he's going to be able to shoot it. This one, maybe. I mean, but why are you going to shoot at it if you really can't? Maybe he gets it behind the 10. If you shoot at it, he's going to draw off the 10 and open the balls. So. Watch out, cue ball. Looking like in railish to me.
And the 10 ball.
Oh, wow.
Little body English
So
from David.
tough shot here. I like this shot on the shooting the 6 and opening the ball. He just had to do it with a little more control, right?
Yeah, not quite as hard.
Yeah. So I think he's got to take this on in the corner. Just a high ball. A lot of people dig on this cue ball, trying to say, well, if I miss it, I might get safe.
Well, the ball's coming back.
Yeah.
Well, it depends how you miss it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, you miss the ball more when you dig on it. You're better to just roll the ball or just make it more often. See, he tried to come back with the cue ball. And
Instead
I do
of
understand.
straight across.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just at this level, they're so good. If they level out with that size pocket they have up there in the corner on that 8, I just don't see them missing it very often. And not only that, you can come back and get not very good on the 9, believe it or not. You can get straight in on the rail. So, a couple of corners later.
Now that's playing with the corners of the side pocket.
Omar with a smile through that mask.
Well, he's going to be happy here because that was. Meanwhile, Zielinski did defeat Johan Chua 8-4. Pagalayan over Al-Shamari 8-6. Holman trailing Zimmerman 2-4. Appleton over Garcia 5-3. Tucher trailing Yoshioka 2-6. Polo over Kazakis 6-5. As David waits his turn to break the balls. At 5-4, he will be breaking. With the alternate break format, David could put this away. Well, no, never mind. I was counting incorrectly in my head. In 2 breaks, actually. He wins Omar's game. Wins this one, wins Omar's game. Breaks to win. But it was only so easy. Cue ball. Down in the corner.
Yeah, a couple of kind of groups again. The 5-6 on the side rail, the 9-10 a little funny. 5-6 playable combo up in the corner. Not easy to get on it. Well, when the 2's gone, there'll be a nice angle on the 4, maybe to come 2 rails to the back of the 5-6. So, is he looking at trying to shoot the 2 off the 6 to open that up a little bit?
The 6 close enough. Yeah, that's what he's looking at. That, and then it'll just be the 9 ball he'll have to contend with.
I think that's an okay way to play shape, even if you're not playing the ball off the 6. I think I would go with it myself, but maybe if it's there, huh? If it's there, it's okay.
Hit it pretty full.
And you've got to hit pretty firm too.
Yeah, because it looks like the corner sticks out a little bit.
I love going to the 9-10. Wouldn't mind that.
He didn't mess with that. Well, we'll see how he addresses the 5 ball. Maybe he'll just go for the bank or take the combo.
Yeah, I think he gets that 2 rail angle off the 4 I was talking about. He'll just go 1 rail below the 7. That's got to go. That's not much of an angle there, George. Now these guys have the power to take these small angles and move the cue ball quite a ways, but it needs to come in lightly though. Draw it. That's how little that angle was to try and shove it around. He'll take on this cross corner though, I think. Oh, he's playing at 3 rail safety. Now is the 7 in the way at all? Is this 5 going to catch the 7?
It's real tight. I think we can get around it. Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, he did it nice and smooth. Oh, he did a real nice job. Gates cutting off a little bit of the kick. 1 rail, that's for sure. He may have to take that same path, coming 2 rails around the 7. That's a little tricky, to be honest with you. A little bit.
It's a big ball going through rails. But where you're going to the bottom,
bottom
of the
rail,
yeah,
I think he's got to spin it a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think he's got to.
Because of the 6, I see that. I see that. Yeah.
Which is fine. Sometimes the guys are worried about fouling a little bit when they got to put a lot of extreme spin, and the ball they're going by is on that side of the cue ball, like he's got to put a lot of left, right? So easy for the cue to slide into the 6. He's going 4 rails here, though. May not get a rail if he does hit it. Oh, what a hit. I don't think he called the 8 side, did he?
I didn't see.
He was looking at it intently there.
He was kind of using that body English to try to make it. So maybe he did.
He's trying to come back. I don't think he's called the bank. He's cutting it. Great shot. Great shot. Almost too good on the speed. Almost got dead straight on the 6.
Now, do you just stay in front of the side pocket here? You just stun off a little
No, you got to get over. Whether you go forward and take the longer shot to get a little heavier on the 7, or stun. I doubt he follows to the end rail with high inside. He might do that. He may. I'd just go forward, I think, and get to the head string. He stunned it. That's fine.
Yeah. I thought you might do that for the space in the side pocket in case you stay on the rail. So utilize that. But he did a good job of just stunning it out.
Yeah, if you don't overhit it, you know, the equipment these days really lend towards getting that cue ball off the rail. Straight in is no good here, though.
Boy.
Does he have to top inside this and cheat the pocket? Does he have to draw it all the way back to where he's standing and move the cue ball with some side spin? Bit of a mistake here because I don't think the 10-ball kiss shot is playable, and it's not a winner.
No.
So Omar's got to not only shoot the 9-10 here in a moment, maybe.
Looks like he's going to move forward a little bit. Yeah, that's so big. Well, now he's going to have to do something with this 9-ball and the cue ball. Deep distance. It's tough. That 10-ball makes it tough to get that 9-ball back to a rail.
Yeah, you just got to kind of slow spin it and let the cue ball kind of. I don't think you can chop it so much. Got to come across it thick with right English and go. Yeah, exactly where he pointed. Just 1 rail to there. I don't think 2 rail really offers. You got to slow spin it.
He's got a kiss shot here on the 10, doesn't he, Charlie?
He did play the 2 rails. Pretty good. I didn't think the kiss went.
Nicely done. As when I saw that last camera angle that we had, it looked like it was possible. That's why you had already looked at it.
Yeah, remember, you know, it's towards the end of the rack. You got to shoot the 9-10 and spot the 10 and gain shape on the 9 to continue the run. Still no winner, even though there's only 2 balls on the table. This bank looks super tight unless he's going to fire it.
Well, this one of a big match.
Hit it short of the pocket, which I thought was almost impossible.
Oh, big. I'll waste no time in closing this out. ALSHAHEEN to break the balls after trailing by 2 games. He won the last 2 games in a row to tie it up at 5.
Preparing break here in game number 11. Did win the lag, so this is where that winning the lag really starts to show up towards the end of close matches.
That's when it's an advantage. In the alternate break.
Yeah, I think his break has been a little better than David's. A little bit. A little better results.
Imo went straight into the pocket. There goes a 7.
Get a beautiful kiss on the 1.
Oh boy.
And these are sweet. He's going to be able to keep the heat on David here if everything goes well in game number 11. He should run out here.
Gosh, everything leads to everything. Once he gets on this 2, if he gets good on the 3 from there,
Yeah, the 3's the shot.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a pocket to the upper right. Still, he's perfect to come down and get this little 1 rail angle on the 2 to get to the 3 easily. I wouldn't play this side myself. I just bleed the cue ball kind of where it's at now, towards there, towards there.
A little to the left.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You can come over, yeah.
That's what he's looking at now.
Yeah.
And he's got a perfect angle to just do it with a little high left. Doesn't have to draw the ball, just a little tip position and a little speed control. Yeah. Use another 6 and 5 inches maybe, but still not bad. Ball that these guys should train with every day, these types of shots. Come up so often when you're a little behind the ball.
Nice camera view of this angle for the pocket. And look how nice he laid on this 4 ball to just go forward. Or stun over.
Yeah, this table's so slick.
Yeah.
I may draw this versus going to the rail and trying to kill it with some English. But if he's nice and heavy enough, he can do it, no problem. All right, that's great. But you see how it doesn't really catch much of that inside,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So this one, like a Moscone Cup table that's even more slick, that ball will actually get away from you a little bit and get kind of steep on the 5 ball. So
right to where he was. And now it's just going to come over to the rail for the 8, and things look real good for him.
That's right. Just don't get extreme on the 8 any kind of way. Nice and full. You can always maneuver many places to play the 10. 10 goes in the sides. I'm not sure he'll do anything but stun out for the same corner, but he is. Don't make the 8 a missable ball in any kind of way.
It's 10 ball for 3 games in a row. Wow. And now he takes the lead at 6-5.
Maybe 4 lead changes. 5
yeah, they
lead
come
changes,
back and forth.
Something like that.
Back and forth. They've strung the, let's see, Omar won the first game, and then David won 2, Omar won 2, David won 3, and Omar's won 3. So they've been copycatting each other all the way through the match.
Yeah, Omar did exactly what he's supposed to do at 5-5 right there. Spaniard.
Nice breaking run. And that was like almost, there was no question that he could get out there from the very beginning.
Better course than Peruvian or about to play. Now did he come back and beat Grabe yesterday?
Yes, he did.
Okay, not saying he was down very far. A couple games at one point, but he had tied it at 6, I think, before couldn't watch anymore. Kid's got a lot of talent. I've seen him play around Texas a few times. He's been around America now about a year.
I was wondering how you've been watching him play, because you spoke highly of his game.
Yeah, I watched him play in New Orleans a bit, some action matches, but he's been staying in San Antonio and a few of the South Americans. Great city. Great pool city as well.
He beat Grabe
8-6.
8-7.
8-7.
Hill.
We're going to see a lot of those.
We have some very good players. If you're any kind of a pool fan and you missed this tournament, you missed a lot. You got to be here at the Rio.
Yes,
Wow.
you can watch for no dollars online. You can watch for no dollars in person. You'll love that.
We have a great match in the arena for you on the live stream, but there's also great matches going around on 7 tables around us. Give you an example. Pagulayan over ALSHAHEEN.
I don't think we have.
Holman and Imanen are now 6-3. We've got leading.
Kulo,
Kulo,
7-6
yeah.
over
Kazakis.
Kazakis. We have a few of the a few of the 11 o'clocks that are
Finishing up.
Well, just getting started actually from some late ones from 9 o'clock as well. It just happens. The outer tables aren't playing with the shot clock, so it doesn't necessarily mean they're slow players, but sometimes the balls just make for longer games, and the players do as well. They, kick out of safeties and whatnot.
I did a break here.
Yeah, he's got to, I think, don't take anything off. A little bit of a unfortunate
Is that
kiss.
the first time that's happened this match? I believe
Yes.
so.
Yeah. They've been really great with the cue ball, but he kind of sent it that way a little bit also. I think that one was like 50-50, little, 50% his fault maybe, but maybe more like 70-30. 30% his fault, 70% a little unlucky.
Those are the ones you remember.
Yeah, and I remember, David being able to get into the rack with much more power than what he's doing here, and so I'm guessing that's intentional. Don't overthink it. 2-3 isn't really a problem.
David might not leave this chair and lose this match.
Yeah. Oh, he's had that happen to him before. Here. All right, does he just clip this, play the 2 in the upper corner? That way no mistakes happen like that. Could have used the hair more. Now the thing is, on this slick belt, when you're close to it, you can really hold the cue ball in these angles, like almost like a fooler, George. Oh my, okay. And the pocket helps as well.
That almost got away.
Yeah, David's kind of shrugging his shoulders a little bit there on that. But you see he overheld it.
Yes.
That had something to do with where he hit the pocket, but really David knows it was more or less on him for that scratch on the break.
Every time he shoots a ball, it looks a little darker for David. His chair. I hate that feeling right about now.
Yeah.
When you see the ball lay out and you're just sitting there and just, what can I do? You don't want to really watch the rack, but you do.
Yeah, I think, these guys are professionals. Of course, they're going to watch the rack and understand that sometimes David is the one in the chair, and sometimes he's the guy at the table in this situation, So
The high 2 rails?
Yeah, he probably catches the 3rd rail here. Plays the thin hit on the 7. I would catch the 3rd rail. Looks like it wants to catch the 3rd rail anyways.
Yeah, right where the chalk is.
Like I said,
Just pick that up.
don't want to get too extreme on anything.
You can almost lay it on the rail for the 9 of the side pocket by the people. We break with the match. Omar ALSHAHEEN trying to duplicate his performance in the Diamond Las Vegas Open and get into the finals. This is only the second round, but
yeah, one step at a time.
That's right. It's one step at a time.
You gain that confidence. Of course, he's a very confident young man right now. And talk about it in alternate break format. He's put himself in position to have 2 breaks to win this match. And at a pro level, you got to love that.
Especially with that break.
Yeah, he's smashing them. Looks like the four may spin in. Yes, indeed. And he's got a long, tough shot on the 1, but playable.
Now, can he go over to the rail and come back?
If he can make the 1, he sure can. And definitely has the angle. As long as the 2 doesn't have him cut off a little bit. Now, he's got to hit it clean. But getting to the rail and just, you know, back over where the spot would be, that's plenty. That's all you need. So probably going to be the shot of the match here. Don't expect to miss other than possibly this one here. But if he buries this, he's okay. Oh, he hit it sweet. He hit it sweet.
Oh, wow, yeah. Pretty.
And one of the nicest guys you'll see, but definitely a warrior. You know, a guy that's looking to win.
Well, watch his eyes when he's down on the ball. Intense.
Yeah, there's been some good players from Kuwait, that's for sure. But I think Omar is definitely the class of that country. I don't know. I may look at the 5 in the corner here just because he's a hair off angle to hold for the side. You know what I'm saying?
He could follow for the opposite side.
Yeah, still may put him on the wrong side of the 5 to get. So I think I look for the 5 in the corner here. Yeah, just a light stun to the right, maybe 2 inches. He could have used a hair more than that.
Now he's got angle. He's got to run the ball.
Yeah. But how sweet would it have been to be really straight on that 5 in the corner, and then he's still taking it in the corner. I like it though myself. Yeah, it's just more simple pool that way, especially when the nerves are going.
Oh, and they're raging right now.
Yeah, your speed control on thin hits, that's what we've seen it get away from the guys as the weeks have gone, or the week has gone.
He puts this one away. In that event, he would have reeled off 5 games in a row to win the set.
Yeah, he's got to watch the shirt here, cueing over the 9. We're playing all ball fouls.
You would hate to lose your turn that way.
Well, the key to that is when you get over the ball and you realize you're not going to touch it, don't ever lower the body any further. Even if you have to shoot from what is higher than your normal with your head position and stuff like that, usually not going to affect you.
Oh, he's looking good to end the match like he started the match, a break and run. 5 games in between that in a row.
So we're going to lose our 2 top Spaniards, Ruiz last night to the 1-loss side, and most likely this 10 goes down. ALCAIDE to the 1-loss side as well. Omar ALSHAHEEN keeps rolling in Vegas. We'll be back in 15 minutes for another great match.